Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put him in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. Times are very interesting and super dire if you are trying to uphold a system that is unbelievably unpopular with the American people. And if there is a populist candidate that, of course, defines what people want, what are you going to do? That man is an existential threat to you and everything you've built. Well, Tucker Carlson has said regularly that Donald Trump might be assassinated by these evil forces, and also that they've done this before with John F. Kennedy. Tucker Carlson's the only man who's really done this reporting, and we thought that we should ask him about that in our X Spaces that we hosted last night. Tucker Carlson was live on X with us last night, and it now has been listened to by nearly 4 million people. So, what happens next for Donald Trump? He is obviously a threat to the regime. They can't allow that threat to continue. Tucker Carlson responds, and this is pretty dark. Listen.
So they're obviously going to see X as a platform. They're going to try and take X offline and metaphorically assassinate X. You've spoken at length in multiple situations about how you think that we are speeding towards assassination potentially for Donald Trump in his candidacy, because equally Donald Trump speaks hard truths that are uncomfortable for people, and also Donald Trump is a threat to the existing system. Do you really believe that we are on our way to a physical assassination attempt?
Well, I don't know what we're on the way to, but we're certainly on the way to something. I mean, one of, the great lie that we tell ourselves is that our lives in the world are static. They're not. They're always progressing towards something. We don't usually know what it is, but we're always on the road to somewhere. And you just sort of have to ask yourself logically, like, what's next? I mean, the amount of energy and money and time and public attention, all of which are precious commodities, the asshole community has taken to destroy Donald Trump is just astounding. I mean, it's honestly like the moonshot. In fact, they've expended more resources on destroying Trump than they did on getting a man to the moon, assuming you believe that actually happened, and I think it's in question. So it didn't work. That's the point. It didn't work. I mean, when they wanted to stop Bernie Sanders, remember, they kind of seemed to threaten his wife with criminal prosecution. Do you remember that? And all of a sudden, Bernie Sanders is on board with everything, and he stops whining about the billionaires, and he's actually friends with Goldman Sachs now. And like, Deutsche Bank isn't so bad, and like, I'm all in on the war in Ukraine, and of course we'll take refugees from Gaza. Like, they turned Bernie Sanders into a bitch, and they did that by applying pressure points, of course, which is what they always do. And they've done that to Trump at scale. We're going to put your son in jail. We're going to put your oldest son in jail. And Trump's like, yeah, f you. I mean, again, whatever you think of Trump, you don't have to like Trump or even agree with him to appreciate the remarkable resilience in the face of like every power center in the world opposing him, except for like the presidents of El Salvador and Hungary. Everybody's against Trump, and he's still standing. So that does raise the question, like, okay, what next? You indict him 4 times. You threaten him with life in prison. These are credible threats, by the way. His trial begins in the middle of the primary season in March, a few months from now. And the guy is still running, and he still appears to be unbowed. So, you're kind of reaching to the bottom of your bag of tricks, and you find it empty. And it's like, we're threatening you with life imprisonment. Call it off. Drop out. Pick a successor and leave. Retire. We'll leave you alone. He won't. So, like, what else are they going to do? I don't know. I mean, I'm just guessing here, but, like, why wouldn't they kill him? Seriously.
It's worth noting that Tucker Carlson's asked Donald Trump this exact question before. How did Donald Trump respond to the "will you be assassinated" question?
So the reason I'm asking you is I'm looking at the trajectory since 2015 when you got into politics, for real, and then won. It started with protests against you, massive protests, right. Organized protests by the left, and then it moved to impeachment twice,
right.
And now indictment. I mean, the next stage is violence. Are you worried that they're going to try and kill you? Why wouldn't they try and kill you, honestly?
They're savage animals. They are people that are sick, really sick. You have great people in the Democrat party. You have great people that are Democrats. Most of the people in our country are fantastic, and I'm representing everybody. I'm not just Republicans or conservatives. I represent everybody. I'm the president of everybody.
So Donald Trump saying, of course, these people are sick, savage animals, and Tucker Carlson being the only person who has ever really effectively exposed them, talking also about his reporting on the JFK assassination, as we mentioned in the live. The CIA did have involvement in the killing of JFK. JFK was going to scatter the CIA to the winds after shattering it into 1,000 pieces. And so that posed a existential threat to the regime. What is the regime writing about Donald Trump? Tucker Carlson, Trump's assassination conspiracy theory, explain where it started and who is pushing it. Oh, yes, they call it a conspiracy theory. Then they write headlines like this: Trump faces assassination plot. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones alleges. Well, what do you mean, plot? They're literally writing headlines about this. Here's what happens if Donald Trump dies while running in the 2024 presidential election. These are the headlines they're writing. The fear of a looming Trump dictatorship from the Washington Post. Molly Hemingway saying this genre, claiming Trump is Hitler, because he might do to Democrats what they are doing to us right now, should be given the assassination prep label, which is exactly what Matt Gaetz is doing, saying that the media is greenlighting a Trump assassination. They call him a conspiracy theorist. He's back on X. And Alex Jones is saying, yeah, man, we're going to face some hectic times here with the potential assassination of Donald Trump. And the only thing that scares me about this is that Alex Jones has been right about pretty much everything else. So have a listen.
Are they going to succeed to prevent him from running?
I mean, they're succeeding in a civil war right now in Russia. I mean, yeah, the globalists hijacked the most powerful country in the world with all our ingenuity and all our money and all our power, and the world's in deep trouble. And again, it's not like I'm saying China or Russia are good either. It's just a monstrous situation. And if people don't get serious and get out of their comfort zones, I think they're going to demonize him, indict him. And then I think they'll blow his airplane up. I really, at a gut level, believe they're going to kill Trump.
Who's this? Trump?
I believe the deep state establishment will murder him. I believe he's going to steadfast go through all this. He'll be 30 points ahead in the primaries. Nothing's going to stop him. And then they just, he dies of a heart attack because they poison him or they blow his airplane up. And I think, and Trump, by the way, has talked to Roger and others and said, I'm ready to die. I'm committed. I'm going all the way. So,
well, Alex Jones has been right about virtually everything else. So I don't know. At what point do you doubt? We, of course, pray that this isn't what happens. But ladies and gentlemen, these are the times that we live in. It is important to know who your enemy is. And, well, people who would kill to retain power, those have always been our enemies. That is the thing that defines the worst regimes on earth. Yeah. Are we the baddies? Stay based. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe.